The Board of County Commissioners meeting will come to order. Let the record show today is October the 7th, 2018. October the 2nd. Yes, did I say 7th?
You did.
Oh, sorry.
Don't put us farther ahead.
October the 2nd,
You need
2018, and the time is 9 o'clock a.m. Miss Kathy Garcia, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, ma'am?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I forgot to ask you before we started, but I didn't
No
think
problem.
you'd mind. Nice to have you here. Thank you.
Nice to be here on this wonderful day. It's
Thank
nice and
you.
cool.
That is.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Flowers.
Present.
Commissioner Candace.
Here.
Commissioner Prince.
Here.
Attorney Clint Smith.
Present.
And Clerk to the Board Kelly Camper present.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Gentlemen, any amendments to the agenda this morning?
Well, I do have one, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to propose that we all wish you a wonderful and tremendous, happy and healthy birthday.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Happy birthday, Geezer.
Thank you. My wife said this morning when our grandkids called at 6:20, she said, you know that there's a reason that this is called the present, because it is a present. I said, okay. Gotcha. So that was nice to have those two little munchkins call me this morning. So thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Any other amendments?
Yes.
I do not have any. Mr. Cannon?
Negative.
All right, we'll move on. Audience introductions. Start on the west.
Jackie Bubas for the Sentinel.
Kathy Garcia, Senator Cory Gardner's office.
I'll get on the record.
Tracy Ballard,
Came in
Tribune.
for coffee.
Kathy, are you a C or K?
C.
See.
Thought so.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for being here. I don't believe we have any minutes to approve this morning, so we'll move on to commissioner items. Commissioner Camden.
Not too much happened since Friday, but we did have a great budget meeting, I thought, preliminary discussions on process that the three of us had. And well, I'm looking forward to it. And also working with the airport Watt family. Wait, get the contract signed with Armstrong, and we'll move ahead. We're going to do some of that today.
Okay. Commissioner Prince, anything?
Again, I haven't done a whole lot since 2 days ago, but I've been in multiple discussions with the SB logo that I believe is on the agenda for tomorrow. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Is that on for tomorrow?
I thought we put it at the end of the month.
End of the month.
Give us time to invite everybody.
Yes,
But yeah,
31st.
that's okay.
It's coming up,
Yeah.
but I've had multiple conversations.
Okay. Would you care to share the portent of any of those conversations, or?
Well, I'm trying to get my hands wrapped around who is the owner,
So are we.
who funded. Now, I think it'll be clear once we get the information. I need to see something contrary, but it seems evident to me that the Custer County Economic Development Corporation, a private entity, is the owner of that. And that being, if that is correct, I believe my stance is going to be keep government out of private business, like we always talk about. Let them do with their logo as they see fit. However, they're coming to tell us if I'm correct or not on who the owner is, what they feel the owner is. A concern of mine was brought up potentially that Mr. Smith was somehow the licensee of that logo. I'm very convinced that is not correct, but again, let's wait till the end of the month
Right.
and get the actual
Good,
facts.
good.
So that's kind of where I stand.
We've been digging around trying to,
I'm trying to get my arms wrapped around this issue,
good,
you know.
good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yep. I don't have a whole lot to report either since we just met on Friday. I was out of the office yesterday, so didn't get a whole lot done, but I did slide by and check on the progress of our Hermit Bridge project.
Yes.
Yeah, so did I.
They did get the all of the culverts, the old culverts out.
And they started when they said they were, and that's
Yeah.
good too. They were ready.
And I talked to Gary this morning, and he indicated that that bottom in that creek bed's a little softer than he anticipated, so we're probably gonna have to haul some rock in there and shore that up a little bit. When they poured the north end head walls of that old culvert, they happened to pour the concrete around a phone line. So when they tore all that out, they tore a phone line out.
Oops.
That might have been what happened to my
So
phone
they are
yesterday.
sitting, they're down there.
Ah, it's
today.
becoming clear now.
They've replaced, I believe they've repaired the phone line, and now they're setting new poles, because that phone comes from underground, goes up over the creek and back down. So they're setting two new poles there.
That's really.
And,
You know the sad news of that, Tom?
pardon?
The sad point on that, it broke the phone line. CenturyLink, I called and they did a test on the phone. You know how they do. Can't find anything wrong. It should be all clear in my box via the electronics. So they're going to get a technician on it. So, and I remember when it went out, and it does correlate with when they started working.
Yeah, so,
Unbelievable.
so anyway, looked like that project was moving forward, and then I looked at the culvert that they've got assembled now with the head walls on it. They'll put the wings on it when they get it in place, but it's still sitting down at the road bridge. So that's about all I have to report. Good morning, Mrs. Flower.
Good morning.
Okay, anything else, gentlemen,
You did. I missed it.
under commissioner items?
Thank you.
If not, we'll move on. Attorney items, sir.
Nothing new for today.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that. Administrative assistant items?
Nothing today.
Wow. Public comment. Very good, we will move on. Landfill staff report. You said he did include one to us
Yeah, there's one in there.
electronically, I'm assuming, because I don't see it hard
Yes,
copy.
I sent it yesterday. I
Okay,
believe.
thank you.
Friday, but he will not be here, so.
He's not on here.
Road and bridge, landfill. Oh,
Yeah, because he.
You got an
I took him
old
off.
agenda?
I'm out to lunch. Well, not yet, but I'm headed that way.
What did you give him this morning for his Wheaties?
Yeah.
Was it big?
It wasn't Colorado brownies.
We have them back there. Colorado Browns. Colorado Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well,
You have to kind of be,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's see.
So we'll take a second here and maybe you gentlemen already have. I have not. I was out of the office, but
What was the date of the landfill?
it came in the board packet from
Would you like to come in
Came in the
here?
board packet?
Yeah.
I have it.
right there.
Okay, thanks, bye.
The road and bridge, are we talking?
Landfill. Which I
called-
guess we don't need to talk about landfill because it's not on the agenda.
Laura is coming.
Tom,
Right,
Tom,
I have.
the meeting time is ticking down
So,
here.
which meeting? Which meeting time?
He wants to make it a full day, no matter what's on the agenda.
Okay, yeah.
Because his birthday's
I've got the landfill here. It came through that email with the board packet.
I'll find it.
Okay.
Brenda, Gary just pulled that.
Oh, he did?
Did he request us to, landfill, I'm talking about landfill, did he ask for us to look at that at all? He just
You
said?
just gave it to me
Okay,
for
all right.
your.
All right, so we will move forward. With that being said, then, we will accept the honorous Miss Laura for
Oh,
I'm on landfill this
well,
morning.
yeah,
For some reason.
I don't want
She's
to.
got a landfill report.
We're gonna have a landfill report.
Well, okay,
You can do as well as he can.
I could say it's out there,
It is? Okay.
yes,
This is good.
and I think there's
And you
trash in
dump
it.
trash in it, it's working.
And
It's
so I
working.
think it's good. I don't know.
Good, good.
That would be my report on that.
Well, thank you, we appreciate that. That is much more clear and succinct than I've been able to give. 'cause I've been struggling this morning.
Okay,
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
How are you guys?
Doing well, thank you. Yeah.
All right. Where do you want to begin? Where do you want to begin? You want to look at the lovely report because there's something you'll probably notice. So I didn't
hear
know. The first page,
Okay, yep. Morning, sir.
on the first page, under,
That's kind of in the way.
oh, it's okay, I could have shoved it. Under the foster care, as you can see,
Oh, look at there.
oh, look at there. Now,
You're in parentheses.
yeah, we're in Princeton. It looks bad on there, but it's not actually, because we're actually on a fiscal year. And so I've just received new money, so it's not a big deal. But that is because we have a child in a high placement, because he's my wonderful child that runs.
Oh, he's the runner.
He's my runner. Yes.
Hadn't turned 18 yet.
No, coming up on it. And,
He's back.
well, yes, he's back. He runs. We find him. We do this again, and we won't transport anymore because he's such a pain. He has court in Fremont County today because he assaulted last time.
Oh, nice.
So Fremont County Sheriff's Office is transporting him. They were not happy, but the court ordered it, so they have to do it because we won't do it. And where he is, rite of passage won't do it because he has a tendency to run and cause issues. So, anyhow, but that's,
How old is that young man?
he's 17. He'll be 18 in February.
And is that when he's out of our system?
Oh, yes, and he wants to be out of our city. We can keep him longer, and we've had done some if they're still trying to get, like, graduate or GED. But he does not want us in his life, and he's made that very clear. And so, unfortunately, we can't get rid of him until he's 18. So, it will be a mutual goodbye. But anyhow, so that's why that looks like that. Okay, and everything else is okay because of the trainings for, well, the caseworker training, and then since I replaced Ron and we've added on to that, we've had more trainings than I thought we were going to have because Ron leaving was kind of a surprise. But we're still okay on our admin because we're only at 60% and we're in August, so we should be okay. We just got done doing a 3-day training up in Colorado Springs, and that was for the child support. And that it's called processing guidelines, and it's a 3-day workshop, and then you have to take this test. It's a 50-question test. She did very well. She got a 98%, so we were good on that.
Good.
But we still have a lot more training for that, and they have new worker training up in Denver. But I ran into a gal in Walmart in Salida. It's just the things that happen to you, who worked at Chaffee County, who's been doing child support for years. She retired, and now she's contracting. And she told me she would come and do a 3-day training, which we feel would be a lot more beneficial than going up to Denver, and actually probably save us a little bit of money on motels
one-on-one.
and travel, and more one-on-one, and we're going to get a lot more out of it. So I'm talking to her about that, and we'll see what we can come up with. But yeah, and she just lives in Salida, so, and she's very, very good. So we're working on that. Did you have any more questions on this? I'm sorry, I got off on that. I was just talking about the admin stuff there.
We're good.
Okay. And then, like, second page is, if I have these right, it would be the old age pension.
I just love the title.
Oh, I know.
I mean, in this day and age, to be able to say old age pension just gives me a warm feeling.
Oh, yeah, well,
Especially on a birthday.
yeah,
That you enter into.
yeah,
How can I
yeah.
sign up for this, by
Yeah,
the way?
your milk carton's right there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got my milk carton.
Yes, you did.
Starting to turn into clabber.
Yeah, I know. This is true, you know. Sometimes you make clabber, but you're already there,
I'm
so we
alright,
don't have to do about that. And then the leap, we're just geared up. That was another thing we didn't realize, but Rhonda had to do a week-long training in Alamosa, so we've got that. But applications, if you were on LEAP last year, you received an application in the mail. And the LEAP program doesn't start until November 1st, but anybody that received it last year can bring their applications in. We've already probably got 20 applications in already, maybe more. I really haven't counted them. And then the next one is Medicaid transportation, which is a pass-through. CSBG, we're still good. They give us some extra money. I used all but about, I think, 500 of that.
I've been doing this for how many years? I don't know.
Community service block grant. No, it's
use it
okay.
every month.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay. And yeah, they gave us an extra 2,000 that we had to use by the end of September, and I think I used all but, I think it was all but like 400 of it. So, and then I still have the original money.
I saw a Medicaid transport van going down Highway 50 yesterday.
Right?
Big lettering all over it.
Oh, really? I wonder if that was going down 50 from where?
Oh, looked like it was headed from Pueblo to
Oh.
Florence or something.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
I thought, wow.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Rotary does a lot of our transports, and then we also do private. So if you are able to drive yourself and go down to a doctor's appointment, but Medicaid will reimburse for that too. So we have a lot of Medicaid reimbursements lately. You'll see, we were awarded money. It starts, this program, at the end of September. The new program starts, the new grant starts October. I requested 14,000. Last year we got 12. This year they gave us 8,400. Yeah, it is what it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. When I had to go to the training that is required, he told us he didn't know what we were going to get yet, and we wouldn't know until October 1st.
Didn't say why.
No, because they have to look. I don't know. He just said they don't know. They're going to make sure how much money they're going to get, and then they'll divide it up and da 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 da. So
They got cut, apparently.
oh yeah, so we got cut. Last year I got 12,215, and I used all but 1,400, which would have been just a couple more. But anyhow, that's what we got. So, but I do have some community service block grant funds. So hopefully between all of that, we'll get it done. And then our food assistance, as you can see. We've got 209 households.
Wow.
Yeah, bless you. In August.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then our TFAB, our commodities. And they gave me some extra last month, and we got those out, so that was good. So pretty soon, once I get Kayla all trained on everything else, I'm going to have her take this over too, because it's just it's not hard. It's just a lot of stuff. Takes up
Clearly, the
my
biggest
time.
participation is with SNAP.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, it certainly is. So yeah, and we'll probably see an increase in that too, coming up soon because of that. We're getting our new copy machine. Our lease was up on our copy machine, so we're getting a new one today. And it's going to have the fax machine built in, because we've been talking about that before, but my lease wasn't up. We talked about adding a fax board to the existing, but that was going to cost us so much. It was ridiculous. So we just left our old fax machine, and now, but they're supposed to come up today around 10 and put in this new one. Wow. So if you see that going on, that's what that is. And we had to have some lines. The phone line ran, but Vernon got that done for us, so we should be good to go on that. So, and we have Gobin's doing it. They brought our last one. We really liked it, and this one's almost really similar to that. And we've had good results with them. Anytime something goes wrong, we just call. They come. He comes in and checks on us every so often just to make sure everything's okay with it. So, and that's about all I have. Unless you have something. Oh,
Just wanted to publicly thank our courthouse maintenance and custodian, Mr. Ed, went over and assembled 2 desks for
yes.
Miss Laura, and helped him a little bit with that, but we got him in place, and
yeah, they're working great.
I always appreciate his willingness to jump in.
Yes, yes, we do too. And then he hauled those other 2 out of there, which was nice. And so, yes, that was a great help.
Yeah.
We truly appreciated that. Now we tell him, hopefully, no more desks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
I kind of promised him no more desk, especially after we moved Stacy's in there. But the other 2 weren't.
Yeah.
Once he did the first one, he goes, that went a lot better the second time.
Yeah.
Second thing, yes, you guys, Reggie Bika from the state is going to be here on Thursday at 1 o'clock to do the,
I just want to let you know I invited both papers to
Okay.
cover that if they choose to.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
want to let you know that.
okay.
Thank you.
And they're bringing in cupcakes,
When? 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock on Thursday.
At your office.
Well, no, we're going to do it in here,
Okay.
okay? Because there's nobody going to be in here, and there's a little bit more room in here, and we won't have all of the stuff
So I
going.
misinformed, I had said that. I thought
Yeah,
it would be
but
in the
we're going to do it in here,
Okay, good.
okay?
Good.
Did we?
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
With the temperature getting ready to get cold, which one of these funds, and are we adequately funded to help folks with needs?
The LEAP.
Heating? LEAP.
LEAP.
Energy assistance.
LEAP, that is just, anybody can apply. We're not, we don't have a grant like this where I can't go over. There's just funds out there. And so, that's the one where they should apply. And we'll get something in both papers. We usually do on that.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but the LEAP is the one.
Great.
And then if somebody, the energy outreach is really good. For example, if they use propane, and that's what they have to apply for with LEAP because it's for heating, okay? But then if they get into a shut-off with their electricity and can't run their propane, and can't run the propane heater, then they can come to us for EOC, which we can get the electricity turned back on. So it's, both of those work well together, so.
L is Local Energy Assistance Program, is that the L in LEAP?
Low-income
Low-
energy assistance program,
Okay.
yes. And did Virginia talk to you, Tom, about that?
Yes,
Okay. Did you figure it out?
yes.
Okay. Was it me?
No.
No, I told her.
Took us a while.
I told her
Took
it.
Brenda and myself.
I said it's not
You
me.
want to share?
But-
we
Oh.
got a check in the mail, and Virginia wasn't sure where
Where
to
it
deposit
went.
it because the two forms that came with it were just
Well, and see,
out there,
yeah,
full of
when
acronyms
she
and-
got it, she was the check, and she brings it to me because it says Department of Human Services, but that's a big umbrella.
Right.
And I said, this is not me. I don't know what this is. And then I said, they don't send us checks anyhow. And then she came in today with all of this and said, this is you. And I said, no, I'm telling you it is not. But if
Yeah.
you would like to put that money in my account, I have no problem with
Yeah,
that.
it was
She
17
said, well, I'm going to talk to Tom because, I
I
thought,
think it was $1,700. What it ended up being was a reimbursement to us from the Colorado or Custer County Kids Council. We're
I should have picked up on that because they said something about Colorado Shines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I could not
and-
attach that with
Well,
Kids
when
Council.
she said that, I was thinking of something
Yeah.
totally different when she said that. She just said something about Shines, and I'm like, what? But I hadn't thought about that, Colorado Shines, yep.
The end of August and the 1st of September, I got a request to sign both of those documents
Right.
electronically. I did send them back, but it had everything on it except Kids Council.
Yeah,
there
it
was
did.
Colorado Shines, there
And
was
see,
this, there
and,
was that,
and
OEC.
Colorado Signs is under the Department of Human Services,
Yeah.
and that's why it's doing it that way. But I did not pick up on that Colorado Shines. I should have done that. I wouldn't have noticed that.
But
But
we did, we got that.
okay, well, I was just
breakdown.
curious now, so that's why I
All
thought
right.
I would ask.
Well, thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Fire's burning.
Oh
Next
yeah,
time.
we will. And it's so nice not to talk to you.
How's JD doing?
You know, he got home
Tom.
Sunday.
Okay.
He's doing really well. That surgery was a lot longer. It took
Read my hands.
5 hours.
But it was
But,
completely successful.
but it
Oh,
was
okay.
completely
Yeah, that
successful, and when I
Well,
saw
would you
him
come in
on
this morning on that
Sunday, he
other
was feeling
document?
much
I
better.
wondered
But
if-
Friday was really a bad
Her
day,
and I
and
were having this
Saturday and Sunday.
conversation post
And they told him he would be there in there a week, and he
weird.
had it
I
on
just-
Wednesday,
Yeah, I
and
know.
they let him out early.
So she's going on Monday,
Yeah, doing great.
Apparently
Thank you.
he's the one here.
and Suzanne's gone on Friday. Mr. Rodenbridge, sir, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good? You look different than when I saw you earlier this morning.
With the
In your
waders on.
wetsuit.
Was he covered with mud?
No, he had a big old wetsuit on, a diving suit.
I got stuck in that creek before I got out.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, I can't seem to lay my hand on the road and bridge. I had it earlier. How's things down yonder?
Looks like
Doing
this.
okay?
Tom.
Yeah.
This is old fashioned, but this is it.
So you're off and running on Hermit Bridge,
You
obviously?
missed it. We congratulated you for starting when you said you would.
Oh, okay.
Right on the money. Everything was ready.
Yeah, we needed to.
After a week visit.
Yeah.
So Gary and I keep getting complaints and accolades still on all the roads.
Yeah.
Did a good job of covering them here.
Yeah, thank you for not mag chloriding, but
Watering
Call that.
dust
Oh,
Dust
on
abatement
the detour.
yeah.
That was a good move.
Yeah, you know, we've never applied that mag chloride ourselves, so that was kind of an experiment. And we wanted to eliminate some of the maintenance and troubles on that while it's being used for
a lot
detour.
more use. Yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah, so
Well, I've talked to 3 of the landowners, and they were very pleased, pleasantly surprised. So,
I figured it up, and we can, if we apply that stuff ourselves, we can save about $1,200 a mile.
wow.
A mile?
Mhm.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, we paid 68 cents a gallon for that stuff, and if you have them apply it, transport it up here and apply it, it's 89 cents a gallon. So it's
What's the reason why we couldn't do it? I mean, is it tricky? What's the trick about it? Is it
you know, there's
clean
no
the
reason.
tank out afterwards, or
Yeah, you have to clean your tanks out real well, but that's not a big deal. You just run a couple of loads of water through it, and then we power wash the exterior part of the trucks, water trucks, real well, and then we're good to go. So,
yeah.
no, I think that's something I seriously would like to look into, is getting a couple of, maybe some of those frac tanks. They're 300 barrel frac tanks. Get a couple of those up there, and stockpile some of that mag chloride, and then just put it on as we need it, you know, at our convenience, and save a bunch of money. So it would allow us to do that many more miles too. If you know, if we save $1,200.
Well, that's the plan. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. Our trucks apply it just as well as their trucks, and I did the math on it, and the shot rate we put it down. I've got that calculated out to where we're putting it down at the rate that it needs to be put down
Good.
per square yard. So
It works.
it works real well.
Well, and if we were doing it ourselves, I would think scheduling would be a little easier and not have to worry about trying to schedule to somebody else's calendar.
Yeah, that's one of the big
And
advantages.
they
too.
may not have it either. Something will come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's finding it. You had some cattle guard maintenance you mentioned here. Did you catch the ones down on Bear Basin?
Roger's going out there this morning. He's taking a look at one that we're concerned about. It's going to need
a
some
couple
work.
of them had some. Did you look at them?
I haven't myself. Roger's had it out there this morning to take a look at one of them, because I know it needs a little bit of work on it. So
Yeah, that's the one we got to call.
yeah. The
Oh, and the ditch clean out on Oak Creek after the floods. You've been hosing out the culverts.
not yet. We haven't had time to do that.
Yeah.
We've got a list of them we need to do. It's just, and we should be able to get on that in the next few weeks. We get this bridge knocked out and some blading done. I think we can get started on cleaning some culverts. So
Yeah, you'd never know a culvert existed.
that's right.
Looking at them, they're gone.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Gary? Does it make sense to then put this mag chloride in spots on roads, like, you know, in front of a house, or places where it normally gets really ruddy? I mean, does that make sense to just do it, or do you really have to do kind of the whole road?
You know, it's almost better to do the whole road. Otherwise, when you're blading the road, you have to skip those spots that are
gotcha.
mag chloride, and then it makes it difficult to maintain a road if you're just doing little short spots like that. Because when you're doing the maintenance on the road, it's a lot easier to just do a long stretch. So.
I was just curious.
But his plan is to do, continue
Well,
to
can I put my
increase
road
that.
on the list right away? Because, you know,
Oh yeah,
I'm here.
you're first.
Oh, you're here.
I'd like to be first.
I'd like to do a lot of that because they will cut back on the amount of maintenance we have to do. We found that out with Rosita.
Yeah, works
It's-
nice. Still
it's-
looking good.
Yeah.
Fairly good.
Yeah,
some spots on the corner.
The front half of it's excellent. The back half's getting a little bit ruddy on Rosita Road.
Yeah.
But I tell you, that has lasted so long and has done so well for a heavily traveled road. That was a great, great improvement.
Yeah, it's been in excess of 3 months since we did that. It was June 24th when we put that
It was
down,
great.
so
I commend you.
Yeah.
we could go in there and do a little blading on it, and it'll last another.
Well, and you're
7
going to
months
build it up
probably.
again. It'd eat better.
Yeah, the more you put it on year after year, it builds up residual, so to speak. So
Well, one of the interesting things on Kettle in the Pines is it does give you a very visual idea of the difference in the amount of dust from where it's been treated and where it hasn't. And even the road condition itself, it changes the whole makeup, doesn't it?
boy, it does.
Yeah. Now, is that mac chloride or is it the other, what's the other name of that?
You know, I
I
can't.
thought of it this morning and now I can't think of it. But
Yeah, honestly, I can't remember. It's still labeled mag chloride, but it's not mag
Yeah.
chloride. They've revamped that
Yeah.
product to where it's a lot more environment friendly on vehicles and some sites.
I answer that question often about, is this ruining my car? And the answer is, it is not salt.
Right.
It is a different product. It is not mag chloride, but it works similar to it.
Yeah,
That's my pat answer.
I'm impressed with the way it works.
Good.
There's a reason Fremont County and Pueblo County are using it as much as what they are. It's the real deal.
Yeah, I was on a stretch of county road in Murphy County recently, out in the middle of nowhere, and they had treated it. And it was on Pass Creek Road, which is now closed, of course, but there's a chunk from on the north side of those mountains where that big washout was, and the landslide that they treated that in. Nice. And you can tell it's been treated for a while, and it's totally different condition of road surface.
Yeah. It's a change of subject, but I was going to mention our air gas bill. When it comes through this month for the invoices, it's going to be rather large.
Saw that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is we started an audit here almost a year ago because I felt like our charges were a lot more than what they should be. And I did a audit of myself and found out that we were being charged for, I think it was 7 or 8 bottles that we didn't even have in our possession. So anyway, since then, since this all got started, those have been taken off of our inventory. We're not going to be charged for them anymore. And then on top of that, they were charging us rental charge, which is a daily rate on 4 bottles versus a lease agreement on those. So I got that changed from a rental fee to a lease fee.
So you got the best deal you can on all of them.
Yeah, because at a rental rate, they were charging us like 89 cents a day, which is equivalent to $270 or $80 a year. And a lease on those is like $60 a year.
Yeah.
So it's a considerable difference.
Yeah, we actually
It's not
talked
bad.
about that at our last board meeting. We went through the vouchers.
So, and then on top of that, we bought a welder, so that's part of the charge also. But
Oh, okay.
it's good. Our monthly fee that we pay air gas is going to be probably 15 or 20% what it was. So
Because it just came across our desk as cylinder rentals. There wasn't anything about a welder in there. So,
yeah, that's what it
good.
was.
Thank you.
We
Appreciate
had
it.
problems with our old ones, so we just replaced it.
Well, thanks for following up on those bottles too. That's
Yeah, that was
It's a lot of bottles.
that was not a good deal. I don't know how they ever came to charge us for 7 or 8 that we didn't have, but it's all straightened down now,
good.
fortunately. So,
So, if I can earn my gray hair, I know the answer, but I don't remember. When will the Hermit project, when's the anticipated completion of it?
I'm hoping we'll have it completely done by the 22nd. By the 22nd of this month. And at the very least, it was going to take 2 weeks. We've ran into some issues already. When we were removing the part,
Soft bottoms.
soft bottom, yeah, we're going to have to replace that softer material in that bottom with some rock. And
You
then,
did break my phone line.
and we did get into a phone line. When we were removing the asphalt, when we pulled a piece of the asphalt up, some of the head wall came with it, and the phone line was actually cemented into the concrete. So,
Well, that's a good way of doing it, I guess.
I mean, it's
I
just,
noticed those flags are pretty close.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
surprised you only broke it.
yeah, I've got a picture of that, and there's a big, I don't know, 3 foot by 3 foot piece of concrete, the phone line. They poured the concrete right around the phone line, and there's no way to avoid breaking that line because of that phone line. So I hope they're not going to try and send us a bill for the repair of it. They
Try.
Yeah, they may, but good luck. I mean, I'm going to dig my heels in on that one because we couldn't have avoided it because you removed the concrete, the phone line's in the concrete. So.
Can I ask you a question? On that bridge project on the north side, are you gonna have to move the barbed wire fences there,
Oh, that chain link on the north
or
side.
whatever's on the north side?
No, I think it's going to be able to stay where it's
Okay,
at.
is that Jerry Elliott's property? Okay, because Jim Reed was gonna move cattle there yesterday, but he postponed it because he wasn't sure if that fence was coming down or
Well,
not.
it's open now, so it wouldn't be good to have cattle in there, I don't believe. Unless does he have a fence running north-south on the west side of Great Creek?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's still intact?
Yeah.
That may be what you're asking.
Okay, I wasn't sure, he just was talking.
Yeah, there's chain link runs parallel to the road,
Okay,
and that's open. But I think on
That corner's intact.
the east side of his gate going into there.
That's right, it is.
okay, so any
think there's
livestock
a
in there
fence.
isn't gonna be affected,
Uh-huh.
okay.
The only place where we took out some fence where livestock could be affected is on Mike Shields' on that southwest
South
side, and he didn't have anything in there. So, but yeah, everything else should be fine.
Okay,
it
thanks.
remained like it was. So,
Good. I have a question I'd like to ask you. Do we have a process, is there anything in place about other departments being able to contact you and get an estimate on fuel prices or vehicle maintenance for upcoming years for budget purposes?
the only thing that I've ever been approached pertaining to that was Shannon Byerly contacted me over a year ago, and he wanted to know what our situation was on what we can handle as far as doing mechanic work and things like that. And we didn't feel like we'd want to get into the transmission replacement and rebuild and things like that. You know, something.
Major.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
basically. But,
Yeah, I did have a conversation with Shannon. It was one of the departments that I was thinking about, and I said, how do you go about budgeting for your fuel? I guessed that he had an idea about his usage, but not about the price. So do you buy all the fuel for the county? And so could he come to you? It's too late this year, of course. That's why I was wondering about the process. Can he contact you and say, what do you anticipate our fuel price is going to be for budget purposes?
Yeah, that's what I would recommend he did, because that's the best way for him to be able to budget is based on what we're paying for it. And I know this year we're going to be. I think we budgeted like $175,000 for fuel, and we're going to exceed that by about 15 or 20,000.
This current year,
Yeah, and it's not the fuel usage that necessarily went up.
prices have gone up.
Yeah, they're
Been
For
a
both.
change since the first of the year, I think.
yeah. Oil price went up, which affected that, and I know our fuel price. I checked this time last year. We're paying. I want to say about 25 or 30 cents a gallon for both diesel and gas above what we were paying last year. So that's where that budget shortage is going to come in.
And is the Road and Bridge Department in charge of the county vehicle fleet? Or is that individual department?
Well, just as far as I know, I just do maintenance and mechanic work on the sheriff's office vehicles.
Not landfill, not planning and zoning?
No, just sheriff's office for whatever reason. So I don't know how that ever came about. Those are the only ones that roll into our shop that we take care of.
So planning and zoning needed oil change or new tires or
Yeah,
go to Road and Bridge or no?
they're outsourcing that somewhere else. And they don't come to the
They don't
river.
have to. You know,
What's
we
that?
could work that internally if we wanted to. Right?
At the road and
There's no
bridge.
reason that
Well, it just,
you'd have to staff up to do it. We'd
That's
have
what
to
we-
look into what it would take to handle the fleet.
yeah, we could do that.
I don't know
It's
how
just
many
that-
other vehicles there
Well,
are.
yeah, outside of the sheriff's office, there'd only be landfill
two.
and planning and zoning that I'm aware of, right?
Assessor?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Assessor?
Assessor.
Assessor's got a vehicle.
Yeah.
So it'll be 4 more vehicles.
Something to think about.
So it wouldn't be unreasonable for those people to contact you about that. I mean, I just don't know why we'd be outsourcing that kind of stuff when we have a department that can do that.
Provided
That's my
there's,
question.
provided there's enough, if you're not overloaded with your work as it sits, we don't want to add more work that we can't handle.
Yeah. And there are times when, of course, it depends on it's different in
Sure.
any given month or week. You know.
But a set of tires and an oil change, I mean, we're not talking a couple weeks worth of work. We're talking about
An hour or two.
a couple hours or whatever. I just wondered about if we had a process in place or what the historical method of handling that stuff was. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why it's never come to the road and bridge to be taken care of prior to this.
Well, I'll talk to those department heads and see what they're doing currently,
Sure.
and
We can certainly ask them during the budget discussions and see how they came up with the numbers they came up with.
Yeah. Like,
Go ahead.
I'm assuming at the landfill, they don't have a lot of equipment out there, and they just work it into their, when they've got a little
Yeah.
lax time.
Yeah, I was just talking about vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah, same way with, I think they've only got 2 or 3 pickup or vehicles out there, so I think they probably just,
It just doesn't make any sense to me to outsource it. We've got a complete shop and personnel to do that kind of
I'll
stuff.
bet they're doing theirs.
They may be doing
Doing their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, appreciate it. Anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Let me know when you're hosing out the culverts, will you?
Sure, absolutely.
People been asking.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try and get on that pretty soon.
You guys are out there with backhoes and digging holes up to get ready for you. Open up
Thanks, sir.
the ends of the culvert.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good.
BSO.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. How we doing?
Good, thanks for coming in.
How you feeling, Tim?
Oh, hanging in there.
All right.
Week down lower elevation. Took me a couple days to adjust back. So, all right.
Before we get into your report, just for timing purposes, anything happening with your home?
Nope. Nothing.
Good
Not
or bad? Good for us,
been
bad.
quiet. Okay. If you're looking for an investment, I'm open to negotiations. And here's your copy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now it's been pretty quiet. So we'll just take a day at a time. And since you brought that up, I was just talking to my wife about it. I said, it's kind of worked out in a lot of ways that didn't suck fast. There's a lot going on at work. The heart attack thing was not on the radar. So timing-wise, if we tried to move this summer, it would have just been a good time. And with what's going on right now, VA is getting ready to implement a new appeal system come February, and they're already testing it this year. And I'm starting to move people into the new system. There's enough data coming out now that's kind of saying, yeah, it is beneficial for some people to move into the new system. Some need to stay where they're at. So that's a huge thing. The choice program just expired as far as the contract with Health Net. So we're in this kind of interim flux that the legislation's been approved, but the regulations and implementation of the new system is not in place. So there's going to be a lot of confusion over the next few months. So it just wouldn't be a good time for me to be leaving right now here. So
Well, personally, I don't think there'll ever be a good time to see you leave,
well,
but we gotta do it.
yeah, and the breathing issue. When the time's right, Lord knows, and it'll when it's the right time, it'll happen. So, anyways, monthly report. The monthly report is there, and I don't know if you can tell. Chairman could probably notice, but they actually modified the form a little bit, so it looks a little better, looks a little cleaner, looks a little sharper. So that's new. So if you notice the office visits this month, we did 101, which was directly related to the Veteran Trust Fund kicking off. It's always,
You were busy over there, huh?
First 2 Mondays was crazy. Second Monday, third Monday. So we went through about 10 grand pretty quick. The VFW was approved for $55,000, so we've already gone through 10. Next installment, we're waiting on the next installment. So we do have a big sign up now, which we've always had a smaller sign, but James Phelps went and had a nice sign done that lets vets know that the ones in the office, they can see no money available, please check back periodically. And it's probably the most frustrating part for vets with this program is the stop and go aspect of it. They approve a lump sum, but that's installments, you have to spend it down, and you have to send a request in. It goes through like 3 or 4 people's hands at the state level before it gets to the comptroller, before he gets to release it. Sometimes it takes a week, 10 days, sometimes it takes a month, all depending on who's out of the office and those type of things. So it's a little frustrating. It's a great program, but that does frustrate vets. So anyway, so busy month. It'll continue to be that way. We probably won't have any money to the 15th of October is what we're projecting right now, our anticipation. So, but we're off and running. So, and then just the normal stuff. And then, of course, on the expense side, I just got back from the training conference, so that's included in this September expenses. So, I just talked to Javi. I underestimated by about $40, so that'll show up on October. So, but other than that, we were real close. Had it kind of projected out so I could submit that before I was gone, since I was in Illinois on Friday. So, so we're good as far as. Okay.
What was the total number of vets when you took over?
In the database, about 62, I think.
So you increased it by over 400, huh?
Yeah.
You're going to have to get to 500 before they let you go?
Yeah, well, my projection is we're not even halfway. My projection is we have over 1,100 vets in the county, easily. So, but the word's getting out. Continuing to see new vets move in. I just had a new vet just this week. Came in yesterday. 71 years old, just moved here. So it's not just the young vets moving. We've got retirees and but the influx of the younger vets I've seen in the last 18 months. We've got quite a few younger vets who have moved in here. So kind of interesting. So the database continues to grow, and the word's getting out. And we got an article in the paper. Last month we got each paper about the Veteran Trust Fund. Anytime we get anything in the paper, we always see an influx of about 4, 5, 6 first-time vets show up. So that's the advantage. With the trust fund, with those many people who came through this month, I picked up so far 6 additional appointments. They come in for the screening for the money, and that's what we focus on, those first, second, third Mondays of the month. But as we're doing the applications, we're inquiring on other things that triggers in them to come back for follow appointments on other benefits. So that's why the collaboration works well. I was in Denver Friday, and I got the chance to meet with Gail, who's the state grant administrator, for about 20, 30 minutes. And she reiterated that she really appreciates how we've been doing it here in collaboration. That was always the model that the state wanted to be collaborative, and that's what she's trying to get the other counties around the state to do, and to work in a collaborative way, because it's a win-win on both sides. So, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm on the second page where it says requests and it's utilities and food assistance.
Yep.
Do we coordinate that with Department of Human Services?
No, well, don't coordinate, but when they come in, I inquire if they've been across the street to talk. So that's part of the process.
That's what I was curious
about. Same thing with the food, and I might make sure there were care and share and the monthly distribution across the street and that kind of thing. So, okay.
I move that we approve the Veteran Services Office monthly report for the month of September.
I'll second.
We move and seconded to accept the VSO report for September. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
So one of the things that we've been doing the last couple of years, the American Legion Auxiliary, the gals have been great. Charles Bogle, through his, he's involved with we call it America's Heroes. Charles picks up in the fall, and as a matter of fact, he picked up right before we kicked off. There's a food of boxes that he picks up as much as he can get, and in these boxes is dry goods, canned goods, personal hygiene products, and so forth. So So we pick up this bulk every September for the last couple of years. This is the second or third year we've done this. And then some of the gals from Auxiliary come in on those Mondays, and we actually set up on the weekend. And we have all the tables set up, all the canned goods and all this stuff. And it's like they come through and we give them a box. And if they're coming in for food assistance, we also make sure that they load up and that stuff. And it's just a once a year where we stock up.
Where's the box come from?
The boxes.
That he picks up. You said that,
It's from America's Heroes Coalition.
and he gets it out of Denver or somewhere.
Mount Carmel, up at Mount Carmel, up in the Springs, center up there. If you haven't ever been there, if you ever get a chance to be in the Springs, stop by Mount Carmel. It's a phenomenal facility. That was Jay Camino, his wife was the key supporter of that, and they donated $1 million. It's one of the old TV stations up there that's been totally renovated, and they partner with the VA and other groups that come in and use the space up there for stuff. So it's a super facility. So anyway, so we get those boxes in September, and then it's usually will last for a couple months. We'll probably usually through Thanksgiving time frame, Christmas. Sometimes it stretches out. So that's an additional thing that I'm very appreciative of the gals from the auxiliary who come in to help set that up, and they clean up and do the whole thing. So okay. The only other thing I've got is I was in training last week, got my CEU credits, so we're good as far as that goes. Training was great. One day training, Katrina Eagle, who is a lawyer out of San Diego, did a one full day training just on recent cases that have come out of the Court of Appeals and BVA judges. Just a one day training of her class was well worth every penny to go out there. I learned more one day from her than it'd probably take me a year of my own studying to pick up some of the things that she's brought to our attention. So it was great.
Good.
So, okay.
Good. Glad to hear that.
And got to breathe. It was kind of nice. There's no problems.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
Anything you need from us to help you do your job better?
Oh no, just another location. That's a whole different story.
Thanks for coming in.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks.
it, Tim.
Thank you.
Tim, see you.
Good job.
All right, thank you.
Public health. Good morning.
Very, very festive looking this morning.
Yeah.
Looks like it's that month that we have this year.
Does that face match that outfit this morning? Oh, there's that smile. Yeah. How are you?
All right.
Good. Good.
All right. I'm not even gonna ask. All right. So we have a table. We have a new exam room. The floor is shiny and neat, and it's fantastic. So
Where is
I'm
that?
pretty excited. So we moved. It's right there in our little hole, in our little
It is,
cubby.
next
Yeah.
to you.
So we moved Rhonda's desk across the corner into Shonda's old office, and then we got that where Rhonda's desk is now our exam room. So yeah, it's really nice.
All together.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Plus we're gonna have WIC in there. They started actually last month on the 20th, and that's gonna be awesome because most counties WIC is under public health, anyways. I'm okay with not being like governing them, but at least we can be together and kind of pool our resources and get some of our programs, get more exposure for our programs to that population. So that's good. Wayne Wynn is gone. We're done with that. Thank goodness. Cooking Matters is going to be under the Kids Council now, which will still be their fiscal agent because we're the Kids Council agent anyways. So that's not going to change. But this will be good because there's a lot more energy behind it. So hopefully they'll start that class kind of maybe between Thanksgiving and Christmas so that there can be some kind of festive representation there. There was actually a thing in like a little Facebook thing on Reach Out and Read that went out about the clinic and doing the Reach Out and Read program through Custer County. So that's kind of cool. That was like a statewide shout out that went through for Custer County. So that was kind of cool. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you about? The Pink Book course was it was fantastic for the part that I made it to. But Beth and Carmeline made it to the whole thing.
Where was it?
In Denver. And so the Pink Book courses are immunization. It tells us like a couple of days worth of it is about like the pathophysiology of the diseases that we're fighting with vaccines. And then the other days are the actual vaccines and how we administer them and how they, you know, some you get once a year, once you have to get twice. Anyways, that's all what we learned at that course, and it was fantastic. So the new flu shots we have, of course, and we're getting those out. We have flu clinics coming up the 12th of this month and the 3rd of November.
Bear license.
There was a little confusion as to the flu shots. I think you sent out an email about they were being moved or something. Is that not right?
The flu shots?
Yeah.
The location.
Right. Did you know?
We're gonna have them still at the school.
That was the county ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
For the
yeah.
employees, it
There was
like-
some question about the county employees.
If we were gonna do one
Location.
here at the courthouse.
It moved
Right.
from the afternoon to the morning or
That's
something
what I
like
remember.
that.
And that was the 12th, right?
The 12th is the one we're gonna do at the school in the morning from 9 to 12.
The 15th is when it moved from the afternoon to the morning.
Thank you.
Yes, because we have to do the Valley Clinic or the Valley people in the evening or in the
Usually
afternoon.
during the
so,
morning.
yeah.
Thank
Good. Any other movement on the rental?
No, I haven't heard anything official from them. I think they're kind of waiting for us to make a move on that. So
Yeah, I obviously did not go to their last board meeting. I don't know if it was.
there wasn't anything mentioned about us on that. So yeah, at that board meeting. So I have called around to a couple of realtors, and $1 a square foot is pretty competitive. Yeah, especially considering the fact that we have the generator. The generator is huge. So
Yeah, as gentlemen, you may recall, Lissa sent an email to the effect that we may be looking at a rate increase on our rental fees over there.
Right.
And when we start talking about that generator for the full-time backup, technology is already in place,
hard to
utility,
beat the deal.
parking.
How many square feet is
774
so?
is what and that's including our storage that we use at the ambulance garage as well.
So what are they looking to put it at?
$1, well,
They want a buck?
they want $1,000 a month.
So a little over, but
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's all inclusive of everything but our phone. So, which is what we've been paying all along anyways. I mean,
$750.
what is it, what we're paying now?
$750
Currently
we're paying
$750.
Nothing.
Oh.
now?
Oh,
Yeah.
they had originally suggested maybe to go to 750.
Jillion times
and
high.
then it
Oh,
went-
that is.
That's exactly right. That's a 700% hike. But we can't expect to just be there for free forever. I mean, and considering that when Solvista was there, they had one tiny office the size of my office. They paid $600 a month for.
I think they've been extremely generous to this point. I think their request for rental payment is appropriate.
Agreed.
Whether it's
Yeah.
$1,000 or whatever the number is, we could discuss, but
Right.
we've discussed this a couple of times. I mean, I just think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I agree.
And it really is a good partnership. You know, it's
Exactly.
good for us to be there. It's good for the clinic to have us, and it's good for us to be in the clinic. And especially now with Wick being there,
Makes perfect sense.
yeah, it really is.
So let's
So-
hope they,
well,
you think we will
maybe
get
that's
a-
something to leverage though, if she's contributing to the mission of the clinic. Then,
agree.
then
I agree with that,
break
too.
on the rent is
yeah, I
appropriate.
agree with that.
So
That's
it's
what
something we need to look
750
at.
sounds, you know, just off the top of
Maybe.
my head, more reasonable than 1,000 since we do contribute to their
If that's the case.
sports physicals.
Right.
and
So
all
I'm willing
kinds
to
of
have that
stuff.
conversation
Good.
too. So yeah. So
I wouldn't-
750 is
I
that
wouldn't
what
go
you?
over on it and thank them. I'd
Right.
talk to them first.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm. Yeah. I just wanted to have your support mostly.
So I wonder if the ball's in our court, if we need to go back with them then, and,
I think we do.
okay.
Yeah. So $750, should I offer that?
Well, let's see.
I would think, yeah, I mean, that's what they originally started talking about, so.
I personally have a problem with that, but I'll defer to you.
Yeah, I don't know, that's, from a business point of view, if you want to be black and white about it, we need to negotiate it and talk
Agreed.
about what the value is.
So, yeah, and they're not, I mean, yeah, they're having some benefit from public health being in there
I
as well.
wouldn't roll, yeah,
Yeah.
just,
And that would be the negotiation, why 750 as opposed to the 1,000 that they're asking.
yeah. whatever.
So, I mean, I'm okay with it if you are.
Okay.
We have a
I'll
question
start
back
there
here.
and
Do
then
you have
I'll.
a question?
No, I just put up 5 before
Well,
you start negotiating.
Yeah, you need to start where you're, that's right.
We're also watching us on TV and know our strategy. And
Right, I know.
Where are we going? I mean, let's just be realistic about it.
Yeah.
That's right, and we gotta, and that's fair, it's okay.
Yeah.
We gotta need to get serious about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have the conversation, and that's the nice thing. Lisa's very easy to talk to, so
That's the beauty of
Yeah.
the administration.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that
Versus where we
they
were.
work
exactly.
with us.
So
They want it. I think they know we're a benefit, and I think they would.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
They know it would hurt them to lose us. So I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
a win-win for everybody.
yeah, I'm same. I mean, yeah, that's a two-way street completely. So
It's not a public comment time, but we have a question from the newspaper, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I was at the board meeting last Thursday and they did bring it up.
oh, they did.
Yeah, yeah. It's- Lisa did bring it up and
Okay.
it was just briefly mentioned.
Okay,
Thank you.
nice.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, if you will continue that conversation.
Absolutely.
On our behalf, we appreciate it.
yes. So last thing I wanted to talk about, if it pleases the board, I'm going to talk to CDPHE and see what kind of funding or support we could get from the state level to address the Schoolfield 69 intersection. I feel like there is probably some kind of a safety issue that we can get some funds levied through the health department, through public health, whether that be for signage or education, whatever it is, getting that,
Mallet removal would be good.
yeah.
Yeah, I sure don't have a problem with that.
Absolutely. I appreciate you
Okay.
taking that on.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
so
there's
I'm
something
gonna,
there, it's worth looking at.
I mean, I don't know that there is, but it just seems like there, I mean, I know that Chaffey County got a whole bunch of funding for crosswalk signs and stuff, so it seems like we should be able to get
From
a
the health
flashing
department,
sign or
right.
something.
Try, so let's
Exactly.
give it a shot, see how it goes.
Would you touch base with Jackie Hobby too? She has put out
Yeah.
a request for some letters of support. So far, she says she has road and bridge, fire, planning and zoning, and landfill.
Yeah, so actually that was my
Excellent.
next stop
Yeah.
here after this, so.
That'd
for
be
sure.
great.
Yeah.
And I think the commissioners will probably consider that. I will certainly bring that to the commissioners to consider.
I thought we approved that down at Wetmore, that we would support that as a letter from us. To see
I know we
how-
talked about it, maybe we did, I just didn't remember about the letter specifically, but she's garnering letters to forward to them.
And that's
so.
what I thought we were gonna be.
Thought it was a general discussion like that.
Yeah, I don't know if we, I thought we agreed, but that's fine. I can't see we're gonna say no to that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that'd be a,
Do you remember?
Very dangerous situation.
she was in this morning talking to me about it. so
Okay, good,
That'd be great.
yeah. Oh, and also, I don't know if you noticed my little challenge accepted part there of the OEPR. Did you read the review that we got?
No.
So our EPR, which is our emergency preparedness funding, which we get lots of funding, lots of support, past funding. So we're standard. We got our like yearly report and we're standard. So, you know, that doesn't sit too well with me. So
You got a C is what you mean.
yeah.
You wanted an A or a B.
So I asked them, I'm like, okay, so what do we need to be, you know, above standard? And they're like, well, you're too small. Really, there's nothing you can do.
Oh,
You
well.
can't
It's
really
political.
make it. So, challenge accepted. We'll see how it goes next year. That's all.
So is that their next
All right,
rating?
thank
It's
you.
above standard?
Yeah,
It's either
yeah.
you're standard or you're
Yeah.
not.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything.
Gentlemen, if there's no objections, I'd like to take about a 3 or 4 minute recess.
That's the plan.
Good to do. We'll stand in recess.
It's happened to put more guys out there, even put an empty car out there once in a while, especially after it's graded, because and bring the speed down to what it should be.
Right.
That doesn't last either, and so what we're trying to do is take it a mile at a time, as much as we can afford. And one of the things you didn't learn this morning, we did, is that we're going to start handling our own mag chloride, which will get us more bang for the buck, more miles. And what we're trying to do is take a section and make it so that it doesn't need the repair and a blade on it as often on those heavy traveled roads. But at the same time, then we have to take, once we do that, then you move over to a less traveled road, because you can't ignore even those roads for too long, because they become a safety issue. Even there's only 5 guys driving on them, and you got 150 people over here, you still have to pay attention over here. So he's doing a very good job of trying to manage the resources between the heavy trafficked areas and build up the road to come in. Our goal is to have every one of these roads mag chloride like Fremont County does, because that'll last for a long time if we can. And then follow that with chip seal, and in the end, asphalt. I mean, that'd be the perfect world. So it's just a management issue, and we listen to guys like you. Believe me, I hear them a lot. Tom does, and so does Jay. And it is a concern. And if there's something that happens that before Gary can get back out there, it's good to have somebody. And I get a lot of calls like that. I get a road report, sort of like these reporters are on the job on the culverts and on the cattle guards, and they'll let us know if they've got divots that are breaking the front ends of cars or whatever. So we really appreciate you doing this. And grants are maybe, that's something we can
It
keep
never
back.
hurts to ask.
Never hurts to ask.
Or put up a good. The 3 of you have got enough brains to make up a good grant. I mean, whether a guy like me.
And we got help that does that in the back too.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
That's where the grant brains are. We're just the scientists.
Don't give us too much credit.
Well,
We're the looks. There's the brains back there.
well, between all of you,
The eye candy.
between all of you, it seems to work pretty good, as far as I can see.
Well, my feeling has been for a long time, if the money was available, blacktop all of the roads over a period of time will save money instead of having to run the grader over and over and over.
Initial
So
investment.
the problem is the lump of money you need to do that is not available. It doesn't mean there aren't grants available that could improve the roads, could expand the portion of blacktop that we do. It's just one of those things we have to look at. But I need to tell you though, and really Bill might want to jump in instead, but we have to go to the biggest need first. And is Copper Gulch the biggest need first? That I don't know. So we may go out and get a grant and say we're putting it somewhere else because the need is greater there. So
We split it.
I think
that's our job.
I think there's more traffic on Copper Gulch Road than there is on Highway 69 in that same area.
We have counters that can actually tell us that. Gary keeps track of that.
Right.
And we have statistics. He doesn't do it just for a day. I mean, he does it over an extended period of time, so you can't say, well, there was a wedding this day, so twice as many cars normally go. That's taken into consideration. We do car counts.
I will say that over the last 10 years, Copper Gulch has exploded. And
Absolutely.
so did Oak Creek. A lot of houses out there now. It's
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There is. In Oak
Yeah.
Creek, I just don't go over, period. I don't like the steep curves and the long drop-offs.
Yeah.
But,
Crosses
um,
along where people didn't.
and I don't like to drive Copper Gulch Road because I don't like changing windshields every year.
The other issue.
And no matter what you do, you're always going to find the hot rodders out there that think this is want to go, if it's 45 miles an hour, they want to go 70 or 60 or 55.
That's the nature of the beast.
And we even have people that got our gate code that make a shortcut across over to Reed Road, and they come zipping through Roundup Road, which is in front of my house, and the dust is just flying. And that's 25 mile an hour speed limit in there, but they don't care.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. We will
Don't let
move
up.
forward.
Well, I'm not.
And don't give up hope.
Well, I never give up hope. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Good to see you, my friend. And I'll
Thank
look
you,
for that
Jim.
apple peeler.
Hey, thank you guys.
All right, take care, appreciate it. Other public comment? Miss Kathy, I just want to say thank you for being here today. Appreciate your attendance.
I do have a comment, because it tags in just what you're doing. I didn't want her to leave, and I did talk to her a little bit. That meeting on that CenturyLink's having the hearing on tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Adam Rice has been in touch with me, wondering if it can get a commissioner to go. And has he talked to you? Has anybody talked to you?
I've talked to him, but not about that.
And Adam did work it, and they did agree to put us on the agenda in the morning on Thursday if we can get enough people. They're getting the contingent to go down there and say, hey, don't turn off the funds yet until we get our problem fixed. So I just wanted to bring that up.
I think that's a good idea.
Do you think it'll help?
I think it will help to go up there and testify.
And this gal named Kathy, I think's her name, has been working with Adam, has been very congenial and very helpful, helping
I think
him.
it was Lynn.
Or maybe it was Lynn. It was Lynn.
From
It was Lynn.
I believe the PUC.
Yes, the PUC.
Door, right.
Bless you.
So we'll see if I'll try to go, and unless you want to go,
I'm out of town.
unless you want to go,
Do my best, but you can go.
it should only be one of us goes, probably,
Gotcha.
in order to keep the sunshine laws beaming here.
No, it's fine, you go.
Right.
I don't have a burning desire to go, Jay, if you want. I got to spend the night up there in order to make a 8 o'clock show.
I get it.
Right, we don't want CenturyLink to pull out of this area.
No, and we're on the
PUC.
cut list
Yeah.
immediately as they deregulate it. And I can't imagine them thinking.
Terrible situation.
Tracy.
On that matter, I've been in contact with Francie Dudry, and she's the media relations manager in corporate communications with CenturyLink. And this is the official information she gave me just yesterday as a statement. Wanted to provide you with an update on the Wetmore outage. We're still working with local officials on a long-term solution, but in the interim, we're providing satellite phones to affected customers. Attached is a letter we're distributing to those customers, which provides all the details.
And now the next step is the long-term solution.
Yeah, and they think, I don't know why the CenturyLinks think we're in charge of the long-term solution. I don't think that's the case.
No, you're not in charge, but I think you can push
That's what
to
we
have
need
that
to do.
meeting.
Anyway, what I was saying was thank you for being here. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Anytime you would like to, you're more than welcome to come up, and we'll always make room on our agenda for you somewhere.
Well,
It may be in public comment, but nonetheless.
but I will call Brenda and let her know when I'm coming up so to get on the agenda. Because I don't want to mess up your agenda, because it's,
No, not a problem. Thank you. I appreciate your coming early to meeting with me this morning before the meeting, and I will send you the emails we talked about.
I appreciate it. And Bill, if you can let me know what happens.
I will.
PUC, would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being here too. I'll echo Tom's.
Did
Been great having
Lynn indicate location, time?
Yes, I got the time, date,
Because I haven't seen any of that, so.
I'll forward that to you.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess as public comment from myself, I also have visited with Mr. Rice a couple times over the telephone. We did not talk about the PUC hearing, but if you would consider representing us, I think that would probably be
Probably a
wise.
good thing.
I just can't help but get the general feeling from CenturyLink that they keep wanting to push us into the forefront of this being our problem, and I refuse to let that happen. I don't care. They can say, well, it's your citizens all they want. That is not the point. They're CenturyLink customers, in this case, first. They happen to live in Custer County, but, and I did speak with Mrs. Garcia this morning about, I've received a couple complaints about still receiving bills from CenturyLink, and so I sent Mr. Chavez an email and asked him to deal with that immediately, because we were already told once that that would cease. And so he said he would forward that concern on to the business office. So, but I made a note. I will send you the emails, and then I will contact the Public Utilities Commission and CenturyLink and want to know when the next meeting's going to be set to start dealing with the long-term solution.
Because we need to know what the cost will be.
Right.
What are we looking at? And I know they're trying to push it onto you, but they shouldn't.
Apparently they have amended their schedule in Wetmore now to October 4th and 5th instead of the 3rd and 4th to hand out those
Phones?
satellite phones. So I would respectfully request if either or both of you gentlemen could attend one or both of those meetings, or they're not meetings, they're just times when they're going to hand those out.
I got
do have.
Adam just forwarded me for some reason. It's like he's listening, but he's not. The email he just got from CenturyLink saying when they're going to do that and the times of the distribution. Thursday from 7 to 9, Friday from 11 to 1.
Right.
And his comment was, well, that's great, having a satellite phone, but they better stay with us until we get the phone lines fixed.
Well, yeah, and I think that's something that we as commissioners can stay on and say, look, we appreciate this offer, these sat phones. Personally, I don't think half of them are going to work down there, but we appreciate that. However, your responsibility is the long-term solution, because they could easily just roll over on this sat phone thing for 6 or 8 months or 10 months or whatever.
We can't wait that long.
That is not going to be acceptable. So I get an email, not every day, but every other day or so, I get an email from somebody that's affected, wanting to know what's going on.
You know, that's right. And the long-term fix is a road and a new line drug in, and that's
Or a new line.
billions of dollars.
Yeah, a line strung.
The line has to be strung. Yeah, it could be an overhead line.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, you don't have to have a road.
Except they claim they have to have a road in order to get the line strung. I mean, you know, that's goat road.
We'll go through it the other way. Go west Glen.
Yeah,
Increase the fiber.
That's the key.
yeah. So,
Terrible situation.
yeah, it's not, I mean, obviously you read CenturyLink's emails, would cost millions of dollars to do that, which means we are not considering that because it costs too much money. That's what that really
My
means.
answer is
So, yeah. We're just in a predicament because of the number of customers and the amount of money.
It's a free enterprise system, and they bet on the come and lost on that deal.
But they receive money
Yeah.
to help rural
Right,
areas.
right,
And I think we need to follow up on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Other public comment?
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
Appreciate
birthday.
it. Thank you.
I want one of those brownies. That's my
Oh, it's
comment.
great. They're great.
Are they?
Uh-huh. No
I
calories.
haven't had a chance to eat it yet.
Yeah.
No
Without
calories.
objection, the chair will adjourn the meeting.
So,
Meeting adjourned.
Hey, Kelly,
Hey.
what do we do with those